Our blushes were spared today. My God, our blushes were spared today. Manchester United 2, Rangers 1. And boys, for a second there, I thought Michael Ealy was going to ruin my day. Did you see his eyes? Do you see that light-skinned brother's eyes? Like, no homo, like, they're cute eyes and all that. But I thought Michael Ealy of Rangers was going to ruin our day. As a fellow light-skinned, my day was almost ruined. So you're telling me Sin City was made for ya. I think I hit that well, by the way. You're telling me he nearly ruined my day. He nearly ruined my team's day. Bruno said, nah, not today. There's no way we can allow that to happen. And thankfully, Bruno was there to remember that these are players from Manchester United. A team of heritage. A team that maybe give it 8-10 years ago would be pumping a team like Rangers 4-0. My friend, unironically now, ironically said that the Celtic team, he was watching Celtic and Young Boys, yesterday, and he said that this Celtic team is better than Manchester United. And you could look at it and think that he's being ironic, but unironically, don't Celtic pump this team like 5 times a season? This team that we had to scrape. Butland had to throw the ball into his own net, and we had to get a Bruno winner deep into stoppage time. These players had to remember not to embarrass themselves and remember that they're Manchester United. Wow, man. This team makes me want to scream like Kendrick. Makes me want to go, ah! Ah! Every fucking game. It just can't be easy. Can't be simple. Can't be simple. Can't be a simple 3 points. But nonetheless, it's a win. Manchester United come out winning. That takes us fourth, I believe, in the group stage of the Europa League. I don't know how I feel about that game. There wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't a lot going on. I wasn't really enjoying it. I wasn't really loving it, to be quite honest. In the first half, it was a good start for Manchester United. Usually, I say we only pick up maybe in minute 25, but it was actually a good start. I expect this against lesser opposition. There was a lot of possession play, but honestly, with this Manchester United team in a 3-5-3, I don't really know. There's a lot of sideways passes that are involved. And one observation I made to one of my boys is that in an Amorim back three, or even a 3-5-3, there is expected to be frequent movement across. There should be frequent movement across the 3 to the 5 to the 3. There should be movement all across, triangles being created in an Amorim system. I have been checking into Amorim's football the past couple of days because there's been a lot of discourse about Ruben. And typically how a sporting team like to deploy is against lesser teams, they like to drop back. And they like to wait and spark a counter and overrun a team with athleticism. If it's a team on par or a lesser team, they create as much movement around the pitch in that 3-5-3 system, almost to suppress the team and overwhelm the team. I don't think Amorim's system is even that tactically complicated. I think it's more of a system than a tactic. And I think what's conducive to that tactic or that principle working is players that know how to play the role. And I'm sorry, watching this first half just felt a bit redundant. I felt like I wasn't seeing these players. Like, we've been watching this system now for about 2 months or so. And this isn't any criticism to Amorim, because I will get into Amorim later because there's been a lot of discourse. But this team don't know how to play the 3-5-3, or they don't know how to maneuver in a 3-5-3, or they just don't have the athleticism in a 3-5-3. It remains to be seen. But listen, we didn't concede. We didn't have any fumble moments. I think Raskins had one proper chance, really, which I think was Collier trying to play out the first phase. I didn't really love Collier in the first phase today. Overall, steady game from him. I wasn't amazed, to be quite honest, from Collier, but overall, steady game. We knocked on the door a few times. Garnacho, bruv. Garnacho. This was an Old Trafford auction for Garnacho. This was an Old Trafford audition for him to get that Chelsea move. As Manchester United fans, I feel like we were all treating Garnacho like he was crypto coin. Whatever touch he made, his stock either went up or went down. Like, I feel like as fans collectively, we don't want Garnacho there anymore, and we're trying to bro, if Chelsea or Napoli want to give us 67 million, we'll take it. Like, give it to us. Like really, I don't know. I don't know anymore with Garnacho. I don't know if he's a player that, we keep around now. Is it too far gone? I don't really know. But anyway, we look to be trying to get a valuation from Garnacho. But Garnacho, he played well, few chances, was asking a few questions in the first half. Really enjoyed his performance. Was playing like a player under an audition, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't really love Collier in the first phase. During parts of the first half, he looked a bit uncomfortable. He looked like he was just bound to get caught out. I don't really think he's that. I don't really think he's that profile. I don't want our fan base to get too carried away, get too gassed up. No, we have not found a new Michael Carrick. Chill out. This is a steady player, 21 years old. He's at that age now where I expect him to be coming in and making some competent performances in the midfield at the very least. I mean, like, we give Cobby enough criticism. I feel like all eyes should be on Collier as well. We should be looking at Collier and seeing how well he plays. But I like him. It was a good, honest performance. Tom Cleverley performance for me. It was okay. Disallowed goal then, the real standout from the first half. Disallowed goal from Matthijs de Ligt. And one thing I'll say is, alright, are we the Drake of the football industry right now? Because it feels like the industry's trying to blackball us a little bit or get us out of here. Like, we're already down. We're already in a relegation point. We're already in a relegation place. Or in a relegation battle. We're already in a relegation battle. 6 points off of Everton. We are the lower than low. And it feels like the industry's trying to cancel us a little bit. Are we the Drake of football right now, Manchester United? Because all these referee decisions and all these officiating decisions don't seem to be going our way. And I'm baffled. I'm lost. I'm confused. Why are these decisions going against us? Is this some sort of retribution for the Fergie time? I don't really know. I don't really know what's happening, but they don't really seem to go our way. The Ligt scores, but apparently there's some fouling on Proper from I believe Euro in the build-up. I didn't really see it though. It was soft. It was soft. It was soft. I didn't really see it. I didn't really understand. Like, do you know what? It is what it is. Another goal scratched off. Another decision scratched off our way. I didn't really, I don't really understand what the refs are coming to. 35th minute, good chance from Ahmad, I remember. Great save from Butland. Otherwise, there just wasn't really much chances coming our way. And if there was, it just, I don't know. It just and this is the thing. Commentators like to make out that these chances are harder chances than they actually are. And I'm sorry, some of these chances, I feel like a competent strike force put them away. Like, a lot of chances we have, they hit off the keeper, they hit off defenders, they ricochet, they do this, they do that. I don't think that happens with Mohamed Salah. I don't think that happens with Jota. I don't think that happens with maybe it happens with Nunes. I don't think that happens with Luis. I don't think that happens with Luis Diaz. I don't think that happens with Liverpool players. I don't even think that in the form that Man City are in now are a bit yo-yo. I don't think that happens with Haaland. I don't think that happens with Foden. Marmouche now when he comes in. I don't think that happens. I think these forwards put away their dinner. And we're giving these strikers too much leeway saying, that's a half chance. Oh, that's a good chance. Oh, that was a bit tough for them. Oh, they couldn't get that out of their feet. No. Proper strikers put these chances away, so I'm not having it. So I wasn't, if you can tell by my reaction, I wasn't too happy about the first half. I wasn't impressed by the first half. Second half, same sort of thing. Boring Manchester United. 1-0, it hasn't hit 1-0 now at that stage, but boring Manchester United. Maguire comes on. I'm a bit worried then as the Ligt comes off, because the Ligt is honestly for me, the Ligt has been one of the better performers. I've liked the Ligt. He comes off hobbling. Euro does too a few minutes later. I think it's a precautionary thing. I think he wants to save them for Fulham away. But it's a bit concerning. Not to mention, it's a little bit concerning when you see Maguire then hobbling about 5 minutes into coming in. These are players that aren't fit. And they're players that aren't able to match the physical demand that this Amorim system really needs. And I think this was quite a telling match for me, despite the win, that these aren't the players for me that really, I don't think in a grand run will have the minerals to really keep up with Amorim's physical demands. We have players dropping left, right and centre. Massive chance for Bruno then. Again, these guys need to be putting away their dinner. Like, I really can't, again, it's not about having a striker that can pull us out of a situation now. We know we're not in that predicament anymore. We don't have the pull now at this moment to get a striker that can really finish, put away his chances and pull us out of situations. So we need these strikers to be, and it's a tough one because we're expecting these strikers that don't really have goal scoring prowess, so they don't have a level of output. We're expecting these guys to have their best season. And I've heard this rhetoric get thrown out a few times. We're expecting these players to all have their best season at the same time. which just isn't realistic. It's not realistic for the players that we have right now. I don't think they match up to the physical demands. I don't think they're able to, in the pivotal moments of a game, in the crucial moments, finish their chances. And that was quite evident in this game. Now, we dominated. I'll say that much. We dominated large parts from when Butland has his howler. We dominate, I feel like, afterwards. That Jack Butland howler, listen. Jack Butland, you will always be my Manchester United number 2. You will always be my Manchester United number 2 because Jack Butland, Jack Butland, man. It took him throwing the ball into his own net for us to get a lead. It took Jack Butland throwing the ball into his own net. I was waiting on some sort of catastrophic miracle to happen. And it happened. We thank you, Jack Butland. We thank you. You're the real MVP. And then, we become pretty front-footed then from the 60th minute. A lot of domination. I think we have a large portion. I think it was like 70 to 35 possession at one point. We have a large portion of the possession. But we're knocking on the door, but we weren't really asking any more questions, I don't think. Like, I think there was a lot of half chances in there. I think a lot of good play, but nothing to really push the needle in that game. Nothing to really create something or really cause something. And then, when Dessa scored that equaliser, I'm not going to lie, I might be talking to myself, but I'm going to call you Cha. But Cha, it was a low point. It was a low point for me because we let some sexy light-skinned brother score an equaliser on us. And that hurts me. That hurts me as a fellow, I don't know, maybe if you're feeling me, I might be a self-proclaimed sexy light skin. I don't know. Maybe. I don't have a fan base yet to judge that. But it hurt me, bro. It hurt me to see one of the fellow light skins crash on us. It hurt me. It really did hurt me. But Bruno Fernandes rises in added time. Lovely finish. Excellent. Lisandro Martinez. Excellent cross. I can't have anything. Now, the Rangers defense were caught napping, but I didn't mind it. It was solid delivery from Martinez. And we saw out the game from there. Listen, the Dessa goal, big mistake from Maguire. I don't know what side of goal he put him onto. I don't know what his intentions were, but the way Dessa was able to brush him off was scary. It was scary, Harris. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not giving Maguire the leeway that I really want to yet. He's not gonna. I know this Arsenal performance is gonna feed him for the next 6 months in the FA Cup, but it shows that there's still that muscle memory there to revert back to bozo moments for me, and it's evident in a lot of the team. Now, performance-wise, a lot of okay performances across the board. I don't think once again Eriksen could really keep up with the game. Like I said, this system that Amorim has is physically demanding, and one thing I notice is with the 3-5-3, is that there's a lack of movement in the 3-5-3 compared to any other teams that I see deploy a 3-5-3. There's a lack of movement there. I just don't see players rotating enough off the ball. There's not enough movement off the ball. And to be honest, I hear Amorim when he says, I can only coach these players so much, but they revert back to what they know. Positionally wise, they revert back to what they know. Because when I'm looking, they're playing honestly like it's a 2 banks of 4, pretty steady back 4, like a 3-4-3 that we've played. It's the same to me. I feel like these players will revert back to what they know at the end of the day. And that was the takeaway for me. And why I think this game is so striking to me as being a game where I think a lot of these players won't align with the system is because I sat there, and I've been sat there for a few days during the Amorim discourse. Now, we've heard different things about Amorim in the news. You know, the cool is beginning to break now at Amorim. We've heard him smash the TV. We've heard him proclaim Manchester United as being one of the worst Manchester United Premier League teams to ever exist in the league, ever exist in a season, pretty much. And I have to question if, in terms of this season, are we really going to expect? Do we really have much hope for what is the best quality that Amorim can deliver for us this season, anyway? And I thought about it, and the reason why I thought about it is because Amorim seems like such a principle-based manager. He doesn't seem like a tactician to me. And I think the one thing that can pull us out of this situation is tacticians. That's not me saying that Amorim isn't a suited manager. I think he's shown enough characteristics to demonstrate that he's a suited manager for me. The way he's handled the press, the way he's handled the media, the way he's been able to handle big personalities so far, being a manager that was amongst big personalities, that's a big thing for me. He's a principle-based manager, but I think that his principles align to a certain way of playing football, a certain lifestyle of living, a certain demand. And honestly, I think sometimes when I look at Amorim, he gives me a young Conte, Jose Mourinho vibe. But I don't think that's what these players need right now. And for me, I feel like it's where we're going to tank. I feel like that's where we're going to tank this season, to be quite honest. Like, he's not a tactician. I'm finding it hard to get a read on Amorim. And that's in the most respectful way possible, because he is a complex manager. I was a fan of Ten Hag because Ten Hag, for me, I was already a fan of his tactics at Ajax. But Amorim, I'm still trying to get a read on him. I know he was able to deploy his sporting team in different ways, but ultimately it came down to each sporting player were individual players that understood their respective individual position. And they were athletic, and they were able to overrun teams, where I just don't see that with these players. So ultimately, if you don't have the players to demonstrate your principles, I just don't really know how far you can go. Now, Toby Collier, solid performance from Toby Collier. I rated it. It was steady Eddie. It was Tom Cleverley. You know what I mean? A bit of a Tom Cleverley throwback rather than a Michael Carrick throwback. I'm not going to let people get carried away. It was a good performance. He did what he had to do. I think Rio Ferdinand said it best. He kept it simple as a midfielder. Pass and move. He didn't necessarily impress me in the final third of things. He didn't necessarily impress me in the first phase of things. But he impressed me the way he was able to keep it recycled in midfield. I was a big fan of that. But yeah, that's really the standouts for me. I don't really think it was the same. A lot of over-reliance on Ahmad. Bruno had to pull something out of the bag to really make something happen. Garnacho, impressive enough for me. But, that's a player that's playing on bought time at the moment, I feel like. And nothing to really stick out, I don't think. But what's next for Manchester United? Manchester United need to invest, and I think I'll do a video on that soon enough about Manchester United needing to invest and what's happening with the transfer situation at the moment. But next we have Fulham away and SCSB, and then Crystal Palace at home, pretty much. So that's where we are. I think we're left in a good position in the Europa League. When I look down the list of teams in the Europa League, let me look. It's Lazio, Eintracht Frankfurt, Atletico Bilbao, and Spurs, and then Manchester United. I don't really see that as being heavy competition to play against in the knockout stages, with automatic qualification, that is. So I think we're in a good position. Listen, I think people are putting their eggs in the basket with the Europa win, but I really don't see it happening with this current team. But it does realistically feel like our biggest competition in it right now is Spurs. So anybody that tunes into this, let me know what you think. That was the TSC. Manchester United 2, Rangers 1, and that was it. Ciao, ciao for now.